Hello, and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy, episode 231 for the week of October 13th, 2015. My name is Ryan Higgins, who's here with me this week.
Brock Sager.
Jim Jokish.
Lane.
You can go to. Hello, Lane.
Hello.
Move that mic closer to your face. Thank you. Or your face closer to the mic. Either way works. Toby's here. Toby, say hello.
Hello.
Toby's finishing up some stuff. He's going to grab some food and join us real quick. So, Toby, go get your food. Stop looking at fuck Fairyland.
And naked people and dark.
There's naked people all over the comic shelf this week. There's like XXX sex criminal covers that didn't get properly covered up. Twilight Zone has a bunch of naked people. There's naked people in every comic this week. Who cares? There's a big comic that says
The sex
fuck.
criminal one does not look like Coop, though.
There's a big cover. There's a big comic that says fuck Fairyland around the front.
You didn't shut off the...
Apparently, I didn't shut off the ringer to the store phones, so Toby's talking to a customer now. So this podcast is off to a wonderful start. All right. Toby's going to help a customer while we're recording.
Sorry, we don't care.
That's fine. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. It's, you're live studio recording, right? Who knows what's going to go on?
It's only live to us. You post it later.
Yeah, but I don't edit, so it's basically live.
This is true.
We got all sorts of stuff to talk about this week, so let's not dilly-dally. We're going to start with a small review-ish of the Marvel number ones that came in last week. I know myself and Brock got a chance to read them. Lane, did you get to read any of them? No? Jim, whatever your name is, did you read these? I was going to call you Charlie because you're sitting in Charlie's seat. So
no, they don't have those in South Korea. That's where I am these days. So
yeah, you're back.
I'm back. Yeah, for a week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
no comic books in Korea. I did look. I couldn't find any comic book stores. So
you walk in, you take like 30 books off my shelf, you throw it in the back room. You're like, I'm going to buy these later, and you walk out the door. I'm like, all right, great. What's this? Oh yeah,
one
here.
omnibus.
Let me mute the phone.
You're just on a roll today.
Oh, is that the person for the 2 copies of Figment for tomorrow? Yes. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think I already pulled those actually.
Hey, I didn't.
But that's fine.
I only pulled one book out of the wall books that you wanted. You were afraid I was going to clean you out, but I didn't do it.
No, we're good.
Are we talking on a podcast or are we just talking?
No, we're just talking. That's what we always do. Let's talk about some of these books that came out last week. So, not every book, maybe not every week, but we're going to, like we did with the New 52 and the previous number ones, I definitely want to talk briefly about the brand new Marvel books because they're doing their big relaunch.
The all new, all different.
Yeah. So we had Amazing Spider-Man number 1 by Dan Slott and various Kamunkoli, the artist, with real shitty Alex Ross cover, as we were discussing before the podcast.
Yeah, I have to agree with you that in our opinion, yours and mine, it just seems to be deteriorating. I don't know why.
It's not what it was.
No, I got an Alex Ross Flash, Golden Age Flash on my phone for my wallpaper, and comparatively, you look at the cover for the Spider-Man, I don't think it's Alex Ross.
It doesn't. It totally doesn't. So this picks up, all these books pick up about, I think it was said, 8 months after Secret Wars. So we don't know how that's going to end, but at least we're going to move on with the Marvel Universe.
Well, we know it ends.
Yep. Well, sure. Well, Old Man Logan 5 pretty much spells out, it spells out what happens if you read that. It doesn't have all the fine details, but it's a bunch of heroes fight Doctor Doom and win, and the world gets reverted back to normal. Yeah. So the specifics will happen in Secret Wars.
We just spoiled that.
What else would happen?
Maybe that's Hickman's script for 9.
Yeah.
Heroes fight, they win,
the end
is over.
Yeah. I could write that.
Because he's changing it right now.
Once again, breaking news by Ryan Higgins.
Fade to white.
I read Marvel published the script of Secret Wars 9 in Old Man Logan.
Ryan wrote the script.
It didn't even
for
realize
Secret
it.
Wars 9.
Could have.
You'll get it on a postcard.
So Amazing Spider-Man number 1. Peter Parker is running. It's not Parker Industries. He sets up. What's the name of it? The Ben Parker Foundation.
He sets the Ben Parker Foundation up, and then he gives his previous guy Horizon back or something.
Yeah, he reforms Horizon, which was the old, which was the company he was working for prior.
I think is it Parker Industries or is it? I thought it was.
I think it is Parker Industries still. Yeah,
I thought Parker Industries took over Baxter Building.
Yeah, that's still the name of the.
Yeah,
I think that's still the name of the company.
They also kind of took over Horizon.
Yeah, he basically bought up all this stuff, and now he's like, "Cool, I can help all my friends by doing this." And so, the kind of that shock ending, if you will, because a lot of these books have that, last page kind of, whoa. They have a little robot, kind of old 50s style robot assistant thing that's walking around. And
It looks like that robot from, what was that series, The 12? That never, I don't
a little
remember.
bit, yeah. It might be, I have no idea. Anna, who is his little girlfriend, in the Superior Spider-Man stuff with Doc Ock, you find out that inside the robot is basically Doc Ock.
Doc Ock.
All right, so, and then there's a bunch of kind of small anthology here dealing with, all the different
It's
spider...
like a preview of the rest of the Spider-Verse stuff that's coming out.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
There's stuff with the...
Silk and
and,
the Web Warriors
the Web Warrior,
and
all that stuff.
all the different characters. So, pretty decent number one. I've definitely been a fan of Slott's run on Amazing Spider-Man, and this is just continuing more of what was coming before. You knew Doc Ock would be back at some point, so cool to see. Definitely interesting title.
It's hilarious that it's... And I mean, they even quote it in the book that he's like the poor man's Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's awkward to kind of read this Peter Parker.
Well,
it doesn't fit completely with the...
It's the same... I mean, it's the same Peter Parker as he was...
Well, before he got like the Parker Industries and stuff, like that one seemed to be flowing well. This seems like there's like just this influx of your poor man Tony Stark, this now you have a spider car and all this stuff, and it's like Batman Inc.
Oh, Spider-Man cars have been around for a while.
Yeah.
Spidey
No, I know
Buggy.
it's been around. But that
exactly.
version is new.
Yeah,
So it's like, what is he going to have another version? Down the road.
Hey, if the worst thing that's going to happen is that he gets called the poor man's Tony Stark, that's not exactly a bad thing.
Well, they couldn't call him the poor man
Well,
Bruce Wayne.
he does take the Prowler, I believe it is, and has him basically be his Alfred in the bat suit.
Yeah.
When Bruce Wayne and Batman need to show up at the same place, which is fine. I mean, that's not the first time this has happened. So other characters have worn the Spider-Man suit, and so having Prowler kind of take over is fine. Again, these things go back and forth all the time.
I wasn't impressed with it.
Did you like the previous? Amazing?
This stuff was okay. Like, I enjoyed the stuff that came before it. I wasn't impressed with this issue.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I think if you like the earlier stuff, I would assume you'd like this stuff, but maybe not. Next up on the list, we have Doctor Strange by Jason Aaron and Chris Pachalo. This was definitely one that I was very, very much looking forward to prior to coming out. And the issue is pretty good. Maybe I was just a little too hyped on it. They set up some interesting ideas. They de-aged the hell out of Doc Strange. He's looking a little more Cumberbatchy.
That's good. It's got to line up with the movie.
No real surprise there.
Cumberbatchy.
Yeah. Little
Hashtag. New hashtag.
At least it's not Cumberbitchy.
That's his fans.
Oh, the Cumberbitches.
So what do you think?
It's kind of cool. I mean, they set Doc Strange up basically as, people around town are like, oh, if you have like weird stuff going on, go find this guy and he'll help you. And they have a bar that's in like the Mystic Bar from
God, they turned him into Constantine.
Yeah.
It's very exactly. Yeah.
Did.
Yeah, totally.
Dr. Constantine here.
Right, and they have that sort of Mystic Bar where he goes and meets, a bunch of the other mystics and
Making out with chicks on other planes.
Dr. Voodoo, Scarlet Witch, Shaman. So yeah, this is very much Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange. So
that would be so cool if they had Dr. Voodoo in this Doctor Strange movie.
they could,
Nice cameo.
they might,
The
Doctors, yeah.
but they, so it's a definitely I liked it. I don't think I loved it as much as I thought. I'm curious to see what they're going to take on
I think
it.
the
You were
art.
praising it for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
I was very excited for
I
it.
know, yeah.
I think the art worked fantastic on the issue.
Mostly, the only issue I have is everything is yellow, including the cover.
It's like the cover bled into the comic.
I don't know what's up with that, except for like the last page. Every page has like a weird yellow kind of like tint over it.
It could just be what they were printing it with, like the ink they were printing it with.
No,
I don't know.
No, I mean those type of mistakes don't. I mean that's not like that would happen these days. I mean this is a color choice. The entire issue is yellow. Maybe the next issue will be all red because the last page is very red. So maybe every issue is going to have a different kind of color to it, which is fine. It just threw me off that it does a very yellow tint over almost the entire issue. Almost every page has a lot of yellow, which is a little strange.
No, but
no pun intended.
It was a solid first issue.
He beat me by 2 seconds.
I thought it was a solid first issue. Out of them, I enjoyed reading it the most. Again, I don't think it was as great as I was hoping it would be, but we'll see how this first story arc goes.
No, I liked it. Again, liked it, didn't love it, but liked it. I'm not instantly as good as I think Aaron's Thor was. Well, even that, I want to say it took an issue or two. I mean, the setup on Mighty Thor I thought was really good. The setup on this isn't as good, but it's still...
It's a solid book.
Like I'm saying, an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10 is bad. It's not. It's a really good book. It's just when you have way higher hopes for something, you're like, oh, it's only really good. It's not awesome, but it's good.
You're right. It's like somebody offset the tint.
Yeah, like the whole issue's yellow, right?
I like the very first page where it's like going over his origin.
Yeah,
and that makes sense. That looks like old school.
They use the original art.
Yeah, actually, it looks like Grandma's attic because it looks like it just came out of Grandma's attic. Is that yellow? Yeah. But the rest of the book, there's not really. You're right. Even the skin tones are way too yellow. They're way too bright.
Yeah, it's a strange. But again, it could be every issue is going to have a different tone to it, and a different color kind of attached. And if that's
Doctor Strange's reading Rainbow.
Next is Contest of Champion by Al Ewing and Paco Medina, who's a fantastic artist. This was really kind of the book of the week where I figured, this is going to be garbage. I was kind of surprised. I liked it. I liked it better than I thought I was going to.
I wasn't too impressed with it. It kind of just was like I don't even really recall what happened in it.
Well, so it's
4 stories, right?
In theory, it's 2. In theory, it is a comic that ties into the Contest of Champions like cell phone game, but they're not. But it's not like a shitty like web comic thing that they printed. This is like I think legitimately a decent comic. So it's the Collector and other cosmic guys sort of plucking characters from different universes and different versions.
It feels like they're playing HeroClix.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
So you end up with like the British Punisher guy running around, having to fight. I don't even know what version of Venom this is supposed to be. Gamora's there. One of the Iron Mans is there. They're fighting Devil Dinosaur, but like a weird version of Devil Dinosaur. And it's basically like a game. It's like just 2 teams and they fight each other, but they don't know that it's a game. And one team wins and they're like, wait, what? And then
is Grandmaster one of the entities that's doing it?
It might be. Yeah, this is kind of a crappy backup story that talks more about this, but yeah.
The one in the past with the spider.
With the guillotine.
The guillotine.
Yeah, guillotine. Yeah, that was kind of stupid. So, but I thought it was interesting. Yeah, it's who is it? I have no idea who that is. It's a collector. It's a collector. It's
Adam Warlock.
No. It's a Maestro, and like some new version of an old character named Guillotine.
And Stick.
Is that Stick? Is that who that's supposed to be?
It's Stick.
Okay. That's like a weird version of Stick.
Yeah, why is he in the army fatigues?
But if that's supposed to be Stick, I don't... Yeah. So, again, strange comic, but not nearly as bad.
You haven't really heard much from the cosmic entities since Thanos has been around, which is really surprising. You don't see anything from Stranger, Collector, Grandmaster, Gardner...
They never do anything with those guys.
Chaos,
not these
Order
days.
And Chaos. That's what I mean.
No.
Not since the Infinity Gauntlet.
No.
Have you seen any of those? I mean, even Eternity hasn't been around for a while. So
Eternity showed up in Silver Surfer recently.
Oh, good.
Yeah, actually, I want to say maybe a couple of those guys showed up in Silver Surfer. The Dan Slott.
That would be the one that would show up.
That's a fantastic book. You may not like it though
because of the art.
Yeah.
Is it the Plug art? Is this the art from the X-Force?
No. It's Mike Allred,
okay.
And it's not
okay. It is that. Yeah.
It's not a very traditional Silver Surfer book, but I love it. Last, real quick.
I saw the cover. I won't like it.
Real quick, we got Invincible Iron Man by Brian Michael Bendis and David Marquez. This is normal ass Tony Stark back in. Trying to make his armor as better than ever. typical Tony Stark stuff. Goes up against Madame Mask, who's trying to steal some crap. She's stealing something from the ruins of Doomstad in Latveria, Dr. Doom's castle. And when Iron Man goes to find out what's going on, he runs into, completely unscarred, in a business suit, Victor Von Doom.
Not unscarred.
Unscarred.
No, not unscarred. He's got the face scar. He's got the original.
He's got
got the original face scar.
The one tiny
one little
scar.
neck. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So no masked Doom.
You notice how they made I'm sorry, going back to the last comment. You notice how they made Collector look more like Benicio del Toro.
Yeah. They make him exactly look like Del Toro.
They did.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's him. I swear to God. It's straight out of Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah. They make him look exactly like the Guardians movie. But again, Iron Man, okay, better than Iron Man's been in years. I'll tell you that.
Well, it's. I read through it, and it was nice to have just
Normal.
Bendis one character, normal dialogue, not the 9 goddamn like not the 9 panels on one page of one person just like a talking head. There was a lot of action in this, like a lot of stuff going on. Just a good, solid overall. Book. So it really it catches you at the end by like, oh, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
So I mean, I thought it was done very well. So I'm looking forward to issue 2.
Yep, definitely continue. So we have a few more number ones coming in this week, and next week we'll do a little very quick roundtable and talk about those guys. Moving on, we got
moving on up.
A few other things to talk about here. ICV2, which is the website that deals with a lot of the analysis of comic book sales, had an article and we're talking about the New York Comic Con, which was this past weekend, and they went over the state of the comic sales in America. And while we had a very good start of the year, August and September really slowed down. DC had a pretty slow couple of months because of Convergence, and then the post New 52 titles that came out that have had kind of soft sales. Marvel through the whole first part of this year has been just a fucking juggernaut.
That was all Star Wars.
A lot of it was Star Wars, and then
even Star Wars has slowed down a little bit.
Oh yeah, and then August, of course, it was always going to happen, but they're still really good sellers.
Oh, it's going to pick up in December. It's going to pick up in. Yeah. I mean, you might. I think you're going to have a slow month in October. I think the closer we get, and we're like 10 Fridays away from Christmas.
67, 66 days away from Star Wars.
Yeah, so Star Wars is really, really close. And I think your sales are really going to pick up real quick here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but if they could ever close on Secret Wars.
Wow. They're just going right by it. They don't even care. And we have a strong end of the year. I mean, we have Star Wars, we have Dark Knight, we have all those crazy new variant covers that are coming out from DC. We just had the Looney Tunes ones. We just had Paper Girl from Image, which is a huge new release by Brian K. Vaughan. Yep. So I mean, we have big books in the back quarter of the year. But fly just flew in my face. But we definitely had a very slow summer. And it's not just, the store was slow, the industry was slow, every store I talked to was slow. This past Wednesday was the best Wednesday in most comic stores recent months.
But the invoice was ginormous.
The invoice was also big, but, it was definitely a good Wednesday. So we were up as high as 13% growth for the physical comic book industry, as far as I believe 13% was the single issue market. Trades had a different number.
We're down. That?
What's that?
When was that?
This was through June. By August, they dropped down to 10%, and as July and August were definitely very slow. In September, once we kind of get all the official word on that, it'll definitely drop even further down, because September, because of Marvel, was and DC was dead.
But is that 10% over last year, or is that 10% over the month before?
10% over last year.
Okay.
So we'll probably end up around 10% over last year by the end of this year, which is still amazing. Yeah. No, even 5% is amazing. Print market's seeing increases like that. But definitely some leveling out. Walking Dead sales on the trade paperbacks have plateaued at this point. Yeah. One of the things that was very interesting was while you had massive increases in 2011, 12, even 2013, digital comic sales in 2014 grew very slow, and then in 2015 flat to down. So while, there are many people buying digital comics, and hopefully you're buying them at digital.comicsconspiracy.biz,
Plug.
I think people are also buying physical comics. I mean that digital comic is completely additive in its hidden market, but it's not going to take over. It's the numbers I've heard is roughly 10 to 15% of the industry.
Well, I mean, how much of those numbers actually on
And completely additive.
Like, how many of those numbers are sale numbers versus point of availability?
It's not unit, it's dollar. So
Okay.
yeah, we have no idea what the unit sales are.
Because I mean, I don't doubt that their sales do very well.
Yeah, I'm sure they sell a lot. Yeah.
Are the digitals a lot mostly for the older comics? Because with the new comics now, a lot of them you buy the comic, you get the digital.
Marvel has it.
Yeah,
I don't know. The redemption rate on that's not very high.
Yeah.
I think I only have one or two guys that really redeem them. So
Okay.
yeah. So, but 2015 looking to be a very, very good year, even with that little summer slump. But yeah.
You're going to get slammed in December.
Oh, yeah.
You are going to just, yeah.
Well, I'm just waiting. We're definitely going to get more of those. Definitely get more of those. The Star Wars trades, because I almost sold out of the Vader the first week, and I did sell out of the
Star Wars.
I did sell out of Star Wars, so I got more of both of those coming in. So we should have all the first volume number ones for Star Wars will be out.
Now that
by December.
That Star Wars #1 Alex Ross cover, that was amazing.
Yeah,
that was really nice.
Yep. All right, we're gonna do. Well, first of all, I should say thank you to everyone that entered our contest last week. No costume contest, just a regular contest last week.
I would have entered, but you didn't have a shirt big enough.
We got a lot of replies. I want to actually. I'll read these later when Toby comes back. We got some great names for some of these contests, but I am sending out emails to the winners tonight, early tomorrow morning. I have them. Today's been a hell of a day. So if you're listening to this. If you're listening to this like right when it goes up Tuesday night, I haven't sent it out. If you're listening to this Wednesday morning, hopefully I've sent it out. So congratulations to the winners.
Check your social media.
He's had a rough day. I came in here at
it's
lunchtime and was helping him pull the boxes, and the last thing when I was getting ready to leave was, "Don't touch my stuff."
Yeah, it's been a really bad day. Some Tuesdays are like, here's the problem. I get used to the Tuesdays of like July, August, and September when like nothing was shipping.
Yeah, light shipment.
Nothing was coming in.
Last Tuesday we had 6, 7, or was it 8 boxes?
Oh my god!
I think
when we normally have like 2 or 3.
Yeah, and today was like 5.
5, yeah.
Right? Yeah. The amount of boxes we put on the shelf or attempted to put on the shelf was more than my entire shipment the week before. That discludes like subscribers, special orders, all that stuff. Like just ridiculous.
Well,
absolutely ridiculous.
We've been partnering with Elusive, so I've been having to go get part of what we're supposed to be putting out.
And then there's even more.
And so, like, I have to take stuff and then drop stuff off it, so it's like there's even more, and you're like, oh, I gotta get it all done.
Yeah.
I walked in this morning. I was like, and they had everything. All the boxes were stacked up in the front counter. I was like, oh, good, my stuff was out.
And that also doesn't count the 7 giant boxes I got of trade paperback restocks the other day.
You got trade paperback.
Hey, that wasn't restocked. That was a Valiant sale, and I wanted.
No, those were in the big. That was in today's shipment.
I know.
The trade restock was other stuff.
Yeah.
Totally
Oh,
other
geez.
separate. Yeah. So, ugh.
There was stuff everywhere.
No, I don't doubt it.
But when Toby gets back, I'm going to read some of these great contest names. But until he comes back, we have another contest.
All right.
If you entered the last one, you were more than welcome to enter today, because I'm not taking any other entries for the last one. So if you want to win the awesome thing I'm about to tell you about, and Lane actually brought us some stuff, so we're going to have more stuff to give away for probably another 2 weeks. Lane brought us a big box of stuff. Well, not a big box, but he brought us a box of stuff.
I'm just curious to see if our numbers start increasing. Since
And
we're
next
giving
week,
shit
we're
away.
going to give away the stuff Lane brought us, so keep listening.
Dude, we're going to start expecting a contest every week.
I'm going to have to start entering this stuff.
You're not allowed to win. You take all my shit anyway. You don't even get to win. I'm just like, hey, Jim, I got this box of crap. Do you want it? Yeah, sure, okay. And see, I'm even a jerk.
I don't hear you complaining about it when I'm taking it.
I'm not even waiting at the end of the episode to do this. So we actually got a promo copy of the Marvel Avengers Encyclopedia. This is one of the big DK encyclopedias. Now Jim's stealing it.
Mine.
This is
Contest is over.
This is not one of the little dinky DK books that are like,
this is huge.
Yeah, this is
40
a big
pages. This is like, what is that?
It's
30?
about an inch and a half thick. It's about probably like 11 by 14, maybe
it's like 11 by 11.
maybe 11 by 10,
12.
11 by something like that. Yeah.
What do you got, like 300, 400 some odd pages in
Yeah,
that thing?
What is it? It's a decent size freaking
Does it say
book.
at the end there?
Nice.
So this is coming out pretty soon, but we have a copy we're going to give away.
Numbers, sorry.
I think it's up top.
350?
Yeah, so 350 pages.
Yeah,
It even has an index.
It does have an index.
And it's shiny.
It lists every character that's ever been on the Avengers, on every version of the Avengers, their backstory, their bios, all that stuff. Every team affiliated with the Avengers, including the New Warriors. So this is Ryan approved. Even though it has the crappy New Warriors picture, it at least acknowledges that the original New Warriors
You want the
exist.
immediate release?
No, toss that.
That's extra.
So we're going to be giving this away on this episode. All you have to do is send us an email. The Comic Conspiracy. TheComic
I gotta write this down.
SPIRACY, all normal spelling.
You need
the
to like get a jingle to going together.
The Comic Conspiracy at geekbox.net, geekbox.net. Send us an email. In the title of the email, make sure you write contest.
Wouldn't that be subject?
In the subject of the email, make sure you write contest. CONTEST. Doesn't
Once we
matter.
actually get a name for these contests together.
No,
What's-
that's
what's
fine.
it?
Contest fine.
This contest?
You could send us any hilariously additive words to that, but as long as the word contest is in the title,
If you want to ensure it, just say New Warriors should be the New Avengers.
Contest.
the new Avengers. No, I don't want them to be the new Avengers. I want them to be the new Warriors.
With pennants.
So lots of one winner. We'll get this awesome book again. I actually did have a couple international people say I will be more than happy to pay for shipping for the Flash
nice.
ones from last week. So that is an option. It just gets really expensive.
Well, and this is decently heavy.
This is a heavy
isn't
book.
light.
Oh, you can't ship me to a mail overseas, can you?
No.
Oh, that's
So this has to go in.
And
in
the
a
problem
box
with
and then-
international shipping is any sort of
know.
online, you have to do like priority, which can be like $70. So
I know.
it's
Yeah,
just
I do it
it's-
for my eBay stuff all the time.
It is.
And it's just it's so. I mean, you're paying basically the same price that you paid for the item for the shipping,
Yeah.
or more.
Yeah, or
And
more,
The
yeah.
shipping is just amazingly expensive.
Maybe if we
Yeah.
start having digital content, like just make it of it, like
Giveaway
this
codes.
is only for international because it's digital.
giveaway codes. Well, international has separate problems because they have their own codes and own accounts
That's
based off
very
where they
true.
are.
Those
There-
goddamn
when I'm-
motherfuckers.
Not for everything.
When I'm traveling overseas, there are certain sites I just cannot. No, not porn. But there are certain sites I just cannot get on because they're locked out. They're forbidden. So
because it's porn.
It's not porn.
Yeah, that'd be funny if Bryce Briefly was like restricted.
So we're, remember,
I can get on the Bryce briefly.
so you have until we record next Tuesday. So send that email in, thecomicconspiracy at geekbox.net, and make sure the word contest is in the
You need
the
to start, like,
subject.
taking pictures. Of
This is a
and
really
posting
nice
it on Twitter.
hardcover. You guys should really jump on this contest because I want this book.
So
Down.
while we're waiting for Toby, because I want to read some great email titles here, and then we'll
Cool.
go on to the main point of our episode. We're already half an hour in. It is that time of the month again. No, Brock, not that
You're
time
on
of
your
the
rag
month.
again.
It is that time of the month where we have Diamond's estimated sales charts for September 2015.
Oh, are we doing the top 10 again?
You get to guess the top
God
10. Not
fucking
only
damn it.
not only that, but
Just so you know, guys, chime in anytime
I'm also going to have you guess the top 10 trade paperbacks of 2000
of 2015.
September 2015.
September 2015.
So first,
Okay.
first we're going to start with the trades. I can
Shit, what came out?
I can give you some hints as we go down
all
the
right,
list.
All right, so
Wait, that's October. Damn it! I'm gonna get.
Let's start.
Let's
start with number 10. I mean, think about what came out in September.
I'm Batman's on there.
Batman. There's a couple Batmans on here.
It's the Joker one for Endgame.
Endgame. Joker Endgame.
And
Joker
Volume 7.
Joker Endgame is 9. Batman Endgame hardcover Volume 7 is number 3. Correct. And because Volume 7's on there, hardcover, that
The
means
soft cover's on there.
soft cover Volume 6 is on there, the number 5 spot,
That should be
Graveyard Shift.
disqualified if the hardcover's on there.
There's actually another Batman book on here, an old Batman book.
Killing Joke.
Killing Joke hardcover, very good.
Because they announced a possible R-rated version.
But this is September. You have to remember.
I understand that. Well, they just made the announcement, but still, they were already announcing Killing Joke at the end of September. So,
Yeah.
I'm like, did a Walking Dead trade didn't come out?
No Walking Dead.
actually, Walking Dead. Oh, it came out. No,
The
October. Yeah,
Compendium
you're
came
right.
out.
And Werewolf by
Compendium
Night came out in October. Monster Frankenstein came out in October. Nobody was want that
there,
except me.
most of these, 3 of these are.
So how many have I've gotten?
You got
4?
4 out of 6.
Okay, 4 out of 6. Okay.
3 of these are ones that are always on here, and 3 of these are Volume 1s.
Okay, so 3 are Volume 1s, and 3 are always on Saga.
Saga Volume 1 is number 10,
Okay.
and Saga Volume 5 is number 1 at an estimated 29,387 copies
Okay,
sold.
so now I've
Soft covers?
gotten 6 out of 10.
The number 2 spot, which you have not guessed, is a Volume 1 at 8,947, showing you just how much Saga sells. Over 3 times the number 2 spot.
The number 2 spot's an image book, isn't it?
It is an image book. It's a very popular book here, and apparently very popular overall.
Think of
I've sold through this I've sold this through this like twice since it came out.
it's not
One of
invisible.
Toby's favorites, one of Lane's favorites.
It's not invisible.
Savage Dragon.
No, a good book.
It's not Invisible Republic.
Hey.
Velvet?
No,
No, it's not. It's a number 1.
definitely,
It's,
definitely.
Velvet didn't just come out.
This is Toby's book. Oh yeah,
Toby's image book. What the?
oh yeah.
Descender.
Descender, Volume 1, 10 stars. So we have 1 is Saga, 2 is Descender, 3 is Batman. Number 4 is Volume number 1 of a new series. I'm sure it'll be made into a movie anytime now. It's written by my arch enemy. So,
Jupiter's Circle or Jupiter's whatever it is.
no, you're a month early, a month late.
What's the other one?
Sean Murphy did the art.
Chrononauts?
Chrononauts.
Oh, okay.
Mark Miller's Chrononauts coming to a theater in 2017, I'm sure.
Jesus.
We got Batman Volume 6 5, and then the last 2, number 6. This is a Dark Horse comic. I should tell you exactly what it is. There's been a whole bunch of these. Very popular.
Conan?
No.
That
Very
the
popular.
Usagi Jimbo?
No, very popular among the teens
Or
and the kids.
Mignola?
Nope.
Oh shoot, Dark
Hellboy? Not Hellboy.
No, it's
No.
not Hellboy.
The teens and the kids.
teens and the kids.
I'm
It's,
out of touch with my teens and kids.
Toby and Lane, I think you guys both like this.
And I have teen kids. That's the bad part.
Avatar?
Yes.
Really?
Avatar Volume 10, Smoke and Mirror Part 1. Yep, those are juggernauts. Those things sell like crazy. And number 7, it's actually by DC, but it's tied into a movie that came out fairly recently. I'm very surprised it just got this high on this list. Technically, I think it was published by Vertigo. But it was a handful of issues, little one-shots, collected into a nice book here by DC, based on a movie came out this last year. Very popular among nerd people. Lots of a very, very, very popular female front star in it.
iZombie?
Movie.
Oh, movie. Crap. I have no idea.
Fourth in a long time coming sequel. Toby loved it.
Okay, we're lost. Just give it up.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh,
Trade paperback. Toby, you'll be happy to
DC
know.
did-
You'll be
DC
happy to know. Descender was the number 2 book for
paperback.
September.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
The trade or?
the trade.
Hell yeah.
So let's do. Toby, you want to do this top 10 comics?
No.
Okay, top 10 comics. Top 10 comics for September 2015.
Batman.
Batman is on there, number 44, number 3, at
that Secret
114,
Yes.
at estimated
Secret Wars.
114, 409 copies. No, there was no Secret Wars in September.
Oh, no, it was-
Remember,
it was delayed.
It was delayed.
oh.
Was there a Civil War on there?
Not in the top 10.
Oh wow.
Old Man Logan?
Yeah.
Nope. Not in the top 10.
No.
Oh, shit.
Did the Batman annual hit that?
The Batman Annual did hit, number 4. Yep. That's the number 7 spot. There's another DC title that's always in there. Just get that out of the
Justice
way.
League.
Justice League number 44 is the number 8 spot. Of course, there's always an indie in there, and it's always the same book.
Saga.
No.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, number 146 is number 9.
Then we have The Star Wars books.
Star Wars Journey.
Journey to
Shattered
Star
Empire?
Wars, Force Awakens, something.
Journey to Star Wars Journey to Star Wars Force Awakens Shattered Empire. Number 1 at 208.
Journey to Star Wars :
Number 1 at 208,884 copies estimated sold. Number 2 is Star Wars number 9.
Yep.
And number 5 is Darth Vader number 9.
Did Lando hit the list this time or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
So you have everything. The only book we're missing is the number 1 and the number... Oh, I'm sorry. Well, there is a Secret Wars title in here. Not Civil War, not Secret Wars,
A-Force?
not Thor's, not A-Force.
I forgot about Thor's.
It would have either been... No, it wasn't Age of Apocalypse.
Nope.
Renew Your Vows?
Renew Your Vows, Amazing Spider-Man, number 5. The last two on here is the number 4 and number 10. I have no idea how these books are in here. I have no idea how they were ordered so heavy. I mean, variant covers. It's a miniseries. It's nothing to do with Secret Wars or nothing to do with anything.
Deadpool versus Thanos?
Deadpool versus Thanos. Are you looking at, like, is there a mirror here? Can you see this? Okay. Deadpool
The
versus
second
Thanos.
you said miniseries that doesn't associate with Secret
It's the
Wars, I
only
was like,
miniseries.
Deadpool versus Thanos.
Deadpool versus Thanos. Number 1 is the number 4 spot at 108,000 copies. Fucking hell, people. And then number 2
People
is...
just want really expensive toilet paper that's going to give them paper cuts.
And then number 2 is the 10 spot at 67,000 copies. So why? Good Lord, why did that book sell so many copies?
There was a Deadpool trailer that came
What was
out.
the last one?
Yes, that's it.
That's it.
No, what was number 10?
Number 10 was
number 2.
Deadpool
issue.
versus Thanos number 2.
Okay, what was number 4?
Number 1.
Issue
It
1.
was issue 1. Yeah, both of them were in the
Both
top
of them were
10.
Deadpool. Okay. All right, that's where the confusion was. I apologize.
Shattered Empire number 1, Star Wars number 2, Batman number 3, Deadpool vs. Thanos number 4, Vader's number 5, Renew Your Vows is number 6, Batman Annuals number 7, Justice League number 8, Walking Dead is number 9, and Deadpool vs. Thanos number 2 is number 10. What a stupid list.
Okay, and just so you guys know, in the movie universe, Deadpool and Thanos will never be on the screen.
No, no, they won't.
All right,
They
all
won't.
right. Two different companies.
Just curious,
So it's
what
like-
was your number 1 book?
For that
See,
month?
this is
For the
this is-
store.
I'm
This is
sure
what
it
he
was-
never prepares for.
I'm sure out of that list, Batman.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Batman. Batman is... Secret Wars beats Batman occasionally.
But consistently, Batman is...
Batman outsells every other book for me every single month.
Even the Star Wars?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, not like issue 1 or 2 or something like that, but now, yeah. Like Amazing Spider-Man number 1, I ordered more than Batman. Number 2, I didn't. Right? There's no Marvel book that I'm selling more than Batman. Secret Wars is about even with it. That's the only one.
It was even with it, and then it just decided to get delayed.
All right, Toby. Since you're here, you're not on the podcast, but I am going to read a handful of these great contests. I already did our contest for number 2, which is this Avengers Encyclopedia, but I do want to read some of these great contest titles we got.
All right, let's see. Let's see how disturbed, intelligent, and creepy, and all
Well,
creative. You forgot creative.
I was about to get there.
Well, I got. I'm not going to out anyone on who wrote what, but if you hear your title and name here, there's some good ones here. We have, of course, the very first one that came in was Superman's penis contest.
Yeah.
So, one
That's because we were talking about his cock last episode.
one that says the Looney Tunes variant covers are the best variant covers ever, and I don't disagree. Those are awesome covers. That's a great. We got contest : Superman's penis. That's a good one.
So wait, we got 2 of the same
we
thing?
got a lot of. Superman's
we got
penis.
Superman's penis in a colon.
Yeah. We got
You
Flash.
just like putting stuff in that colon,
We got
don't you?
flashing Superman's penis. That's a good one. The winner of everything is Speedball in a Speedo contest. So there you go.
It just said Speedball. That's why it won.
Lots of penis ones. Bryce for president. So there's that one.
Oh, Bryce would have loved that.
Wait. Was there a hashtag in front of that?
No.
You fail.
I will call out our guest and customer at the store, Clinton, for his great one to try to get me to go for him. It says Goth Disneyland DC Comics contest. So there you go.
Clinton, if you would have had the word pins in there anywhere, you would have won.
So lots of
automatically.
Superman's junk, Super
DC
Penis.
I'm sorry, Disney pins.
Flash Dick, Baby Cable Contest, that's always good. Wonder Woman's penis, that's always great. So lots of
Hey, in an alternate universe, she could have some junk.
The Rise of Superman's Giant Schlong. So the super penises of Two Worlds. So there's lots of this. There's lots of this. So
Don't cross the super
this is
sword.
great stuff. Great stuff. You know, we actually got a bunch of
Superman's penis versus Dr. Manhattan's penis.
we actually got a bunch of questions in there too, which I'm
B
going to go
versus
through.
S.
Which I'm going to go through and actually answer next episode. I may actually, we'll probably answer some of the questions from the people that entered the contest. So you can always email us as well if you have questions. We're not going to have time for stuff today, but we'll definitely do some of this.
So is
next
there
week.
supposed to be a theme for this contest? Because apparently
No.
there was a theme for last one.
I mean, it can be whatever you want, but it's about the Avengers. So
It's an Avengers encyclopedia. Use your imagination.
How about this? If you would like, tell us in the title who your favorite Avenger is.
Contest.
Contest. But make sure it says contest. If your favorite Avengers related thing is a contest of champions, then that works too. Because it's
Contest
like
of penises?
no, please no.
You're just going to get a bunch of cocks.
So we're gonna turn TV conspiracy for the rest of this episode because
We're not going to do any questions?
no, we got some TV to talk about. We got a lot of TV to talk about.
Everyone likes questions.
He said that. Pay attention.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about emails.
Oh,
No, we have. Well, there was a lot of questions in the emails for the contest, so I'm going to go through those.
I was asking about Twitter questions.
No, I didn't do it. Didn't do it today because we have too much to talk about. Because we're 40 minutes in and we haven't even got to the bulk of our conversation yet, and which is TV star shows have started up. So, and we
fall.
have trailers, we have some news.
welcome to the comic conspiracy, TV conspiracy,
Yes.
Colon TV conspiracy.
Yes.
colon movie conspiracy, colon trailer conspiracy.
Let's start with Jessica Jones and the Daredevil trailer, which is at New York Comic Con. Who saw these?
I'm gonna beat Brock. I heard there's anal.
Oh,
Ooh. I don't know. I didn't watch them.
okay.
All right,
You guys see the trailers?
I was a little MIA over the weekend.
I did see a Jessica Jones teaser, and had her just walking in the middle of the street, looking around, and jumping up.
Yeah.
That's how she gets.
There's a couple-
And she just jumped up.
Apparently a dick popped out of somewhere and she got freaked out.
There's a couple teasers for Jessica
Yeah.
Jones that's out. So, yeah, they're pretty cool. I like the one with 10th over there. What the heck's his face? He was pretty good. When they have his eyes on the on the
Tenant? Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
And they have his eyes on the board and everything. That was pretty neat. Yeah, if you're a big Doctor Who fan and you're a big David Tennant fan and you've never seen any of the other work that he's done, be prepared for a very dark character. Purple Man is a very, very dark character.
First appearance, Daredevil number 4.
Sounds right.
Can you say Purple Man like you say Sugar Man?
No.
Because whenever he says dark character, I'm like, Purple Man.
I did have some friends at New York Comic Con that got to see the first episode of Jessica Jones, and I was told that it's very, very faithful to the comic book.
I heard it reenacts some direct
Yeah.
content
Panels.
So
direct panels from the
so
comic
I
book.
replied anal, and they replied yes. So if that's your thing, look forward in Jessica Jones episode
Buena
1.
Vista ain't fucking around now.
So yeah.
We brought him in with Daredevil. We can't lose him now. We got to give him something.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, read Alias Volume 1. It's a really good comic.
I have never read it.
It's good
but
stuff.
I've
Yeah.
heard plenty
Now-
about the poop shoot.
My hope is, well, I don't know about hope because he's not shown in the best light in the series, but a certain blonde bouncing boy does have
Gold balls?
Isn't an issue. No, he's not. He's not blonde. Isn't an issue of Alias. So there's a chance the first Marvel Cinematic appearance of Speedball could be in the Jessica
Have you
Jones show.
he
Have
is
you-
so hopeful.
Have you
so hopeful.
Have you recently looked up how much the first appearance of Speedball is going for? Considering the first appearance of Booster Gold is going for something.
If he's an Alias, man, watch it shoot way up. I'm excited. I got
Ryan's
cases
excited.
of them at my house.
Because if he makes the TV show, he'll definitely get a statue. So that's why. Ryan-
Yes, unless it's like the shitty penance version or something. But I'll take
we can custom.
I'll
We can-
take Speedball being played for jokes in a Jessica Jones episode. I'm fine with it because he's a funny character.
What was the
so,
first appearance of Speedball?
Amazing
Amazing
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, annual
The
20,
annual?
22.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so
Not
bad
a-
I know that.
Not a great comic.
That's because you come here.
The Daredevil.
That was not a well drawn comic, just so you know.
Daredevil trailer, kind of. I mean, you don't see much.
No, you don't.
You see a very quick shot of
dark.
Elektra just putting the mask over
mask
her
up,
face, and then you see Punisher from behind and like a shotgun shell like hit the ground. So it's like again, it's teaser stuff, whatever.
Okay, but
I'm excited.
Tease the Punisher emblem or
Why are
something.
you holding your
They
hands
did-
above your boobs?
Because that's where the emblem's supposed to be.
They had someone looking at like a
It's an X-ray.
like an X-ray or something, and
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah, the
totally
skull,
the
yeah,
skull. Yeah. So, yep. I mean, November 8th, 10th, when's Jessica Jones? It's pretty soon. It's early November. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, Daredevil's not till next year.
I was just going to ask when Daredevil is.
Probably April of next year.
Is it really that far out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Their original series normally get released about the same month every year.
Wow.
And I think Daredevil came out in April.
Okay.
I'm excited either way.
All right, so let's moving on in the TV conspiracy.
Yes. We did have the Fear of the Walking Dead finale and the Walking Dead premiere, which I want to talk about briefly. Toby, you can jump on here and talk?
Wait a minute.
What's Fear of the Walking Dead? You want to talk about it?
He's
All right,
engulfed.
he's doing something. Fear of the Walking Dead. It's wrapped up 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Which was the 6-episode kind of, off-season spin-off show to The Walking Dead.
Season.
It's the mini season 1.
Yeah.
Whet your appetite, get you ready for Walking
Well,
Dead.
isn't that what, didn't Walking Dead do like 6 episodes its first season?
Yeah, the
Was it-
first season
it
of
was
Walking
short.
Dead was 6 episodes, and then I think after 2 or 3 they greenlit it for.
Yeah.
I think the sign was like a sideways 8 was what they greenlit it for.
Yeah, forever.
The Fear of the Walking Dead, I'm glad they picked up the pace in the in the final
Well,
episode.
so I have some complaints about the show, but mostly not a ton. The complaints I have with Fear the Walking Dead is I was fine with being slow. In fact, I figured it was going to be much slower than it was because they do a thing where they're like 9 days later, and then the world's like over. Like we missed
Yeah.
the apocalypse.
I thought the whole point of the Fear of the Walking Dead was to explain how the plague came about.
No,
they didn't
no,
do
no.
anything like
No,
that.
no.
All they did was just, look, there's one zombie.
No,
there's a couple more.
No,
zombies.
they weren't going to explain it. It was just going to show it from the start. But it goes from okay, shit's going down, but it's not totally over. To the government has come in, they've sectioned off parts of the city, and the rest of the city is empty. The first season should have been like the first 6 days.
Yeah.
I actually why go directly into basically just.
Why is
Walking Dead.
everybody locked down in the freaking compound? Yeah.
Well, so
They went from state emergency to, like you said, a couple weeks later, and lockdown. And
when you get to the very end, the military was going to kill everyone, the surviving humans, because they had to evacuate LA. So in The Walking Dead, by the time Rick wakes up, the military and the government are
Everything's already destroyed.
For the most
Everything's
part.
fallen apart.
yeah, for the most part gone. So clearly this happens quickly, but they could have done 2 seasons in basically real time, and I'm fine with a day-to-day disaster of everything falling apart, because that's what I thought we were going to get.
I didn't get to see the last episode, but when one of the things I didn't like about it was all of this stuff is happening, and like the stuff with the drug dealer where he gets killed, and because of Walking Dead lore that he's going to turn, right? That was understandable, but the girlfriend's boyfriend gets bit. We don't see any of that.
They never go back to that.
no, they never went back to him.
No.
And the thing is like the principal that she worked for got bit, but we never see that. Like
Right.
it's like these characters, and then of course you get the neighbor next door is turned into a zombie and is attacking your neighbors across the street, and you're just
do nothing.
watching
Yeah.
and doing nothing. It's like, yeah, I can believe that's LA, but this is still a stretch.
What it comes back to, it's funny because they're just like hanging out and they're like, oh, yeah, we don't know. Something happened. Like I said, nitpicking some stuff here that bugged me a little bit. Overall, I did enjoy the show. The last episode, I won't totally spoil it for you, Brock, but they escalate a situation very, very
Cover
quickly.
your ears, Brock. Okay.
You can spoil it. It's okay.
Well, okay, that's fine.
I assume everything goes to shit.
Well, everything is
Good
pretty
assumption.
Well, the government comes in and they overhear them saying, like, we're going to basically kill everyone, right?
Well, yeah, that was kind of established in the
at the end
last
of the-
episode,
yeah.
or in the end of episode 5, where
Yeah.
the Latino dad goes to the arena,
Yeah.
and it's all boarded up and stuff like that, and like
Yeah.
stuff like it's
Yeah.
So you have the junkie kid and the mom have been taken by the mom that got hurt. that had been they were taken by the government and they were going to be helped, but they're just thrown in like the jail basically.
Well, he was thrown in the jail. She was helped, but she died, and they put her down with a pig nail gun thing.
Yeah. So the rest of the group goes to find them, and the diversionary tactic they use to get rid of the military and the guards guarding everyone is they let everyone out of the arena. So how they got 2,000 people into there, how all that went down,
well, didn't you see Katrina? When there's a disaster, everyone goes to the stadium.
And I guess everyone just died in there, and they just locked the doors and said, "Fuck it."
What probably happened was they got a lot of people in there, and then all of a sudden everything was getting chaotic, and people were screaming and trying to get out, and they just locked it down. Yeah. And so everybody in there just turned.
Yeah, that's what the soldier explains in the episode before.
Yeah, but it's like you can go up against a handful of military, but then you also have to deal with the 2,000 zombies you just let go in the same facility. So it's like the logic there is a little weird.
The other thing is you're in L.A. There's a ton of people in L.A. I think that was one of the other things. Where are the rest of the zombies? Right? Like, I understand that they're patrolling and doing all this stuff.
Right.
But at night, like when they saw the little flash and stuff and the gun, gun go off,
person.
It's like one person. You don't see any random just poof, 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 in the middle of the night.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, what happened in that 9 days? Like, how did they evacuate? Did they kill everyone? Because it's also kind of implied.
Well, the thing is when the counselor woman goes out when she goes out, right, to try and get through, and everybody's dead. Like the kid with the gun was shot in the head. There was tons of dead bodies just rotting. And it's the perimeter mindset of the military, right? You establish a base and then you keep a perimeter going. So I can understand them keeping, the zombies kind of at bay, but we didn't get any of that. You would have heard stuff like that during the day, at night, because the zombies they don't stop at some point and go. They don't sleep. They just keep going.
Yeah,
which we're going to get to in Walking Dead.
Yeah. So
I was going to say all of them ended up in that quarry, but okay.
Yeah. Outside of anything to do with the show, it does have a Walking Dead is setting a new record, as it seems to every season. And Fear the Walking Dead is the highest ratings ever for a first season of a television show in cable history.
Wow.
So,
with that mini season only being 6 episodes, but still.
Yeah. I hear more and more people every time a new season of Walking Dead comes on. This show's stupid. I'm not watching it anymore. And yet, every season of Walking Dead has higher and higher ratings than the previous season. So
the thing is everybody watches this show. I was away for the weekend for a friend's funeral, and I went to the services, and me and my buddy that were there, we were walking around because it was this old building. Like they took an old building and started making it into a church. So they're in this process, but it looked like I didn't know what the building was for. And we were looking around, and some guy comes out and goes, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" And we were like, "Nothing." He's like, "Oh, okay." And we started talking and all that, and it came up. I was like, it came up The Walking Dead. He's like, and he, guy's a churchgoer. It was a preacher. He got the little collar on. He's all, "Oh, Walking Dead! Oh, I love that show. I can't wait till tomorrow it comes out." I was like, "All right."
Yeah. Well, people love Walking Dead.
I guess them Christians love their apocalypse shows.
It really is. It's going across so many genres. So many.
Well, it crosses boundaries not only in genres, but also in just likes and just people can relate to something on the show. And they do such a good job setting up everything that, it's what I always thought was missing from the zombie movie, right? It's like the zombie movie was always this, all right, they're going to go to the mall, and then somebody's going to die, and then somehow these couple people are going to escape, but we're not going to see anything after that.
If you felt like you were missing zombies from Walking Dead, you got that in
well, you get that in
you
spades.
got that in spades, but plus
the thing
more.
The thing is they don't overdo it when they overdo it when they need to, but they keep it reasonable, right? It's not like it's a constant thing, but there is a time. It's not like you're going to be walking in the woods and there's 400 zombies going to come at you, right? Well, unless you're walking in the middle of a herd.
Now.
So, Walking Dead season 6 premiere, which we're going to talk about here and spoil a bit of, starts off in a very different place of where it left off. And they're also doing flashbacks now in black and white, which I really like. I think it was only for the first episode, but maybe they'll do more. I don't know. Chronologically, not what happens, not the way it happens in the episode, but chronologically, more people, from the end of last season where Rick kills the crazy boyfriend or husband.
Let's start from the beginning. They picked up exactly at the end,
right?
The very last.
They repeated the last frame or last
30 seconds or minute or so of the last episode of season 5.
Yeah,
and picked up directly from there. You didn't miss a thing.
Yeah, I mean, the episode bounced back and forth between present and that scene and sort of how they met each other. So the flashback to a couple days prior was in black and white. The current scene that was moving forward was in color, and then at the very end it merges together. Yeah. But so chronologically, going with the black and white stuff first, and then the color stuff. Rick kills whatever that guy's name is.
Wasn't it like Eric?
Asshole.
Yeah, I remember the guy's name.
Reg was her
husband.
I think Eric was the.
It's Eric. Whatever.
Anyway,
he's dead. It doesn't matter.
The child, the wife beater
/ murderer.
Yeah. And then, so while they're dealing with all that, a new group of people come that had been on patrol for a while. They were out like scavenging for supplies.
Well, it's not a new group of people for Alexandria. It's a new. It's
people from there,
Alexandria.
People from Alexandria who said they'd been out for a couple weeks scavenging. So
yeah, so they've come back and they're like, "Who the hell is this?" And what do you like? What happened?
And who do they get? The mullet at the front gate.
Yeah,
I can respect the hair.
That's great. Eugene. I love Eugene.
That's a new hashtag, by the way. Yeah. They started putting that one last night.
So we get a handful of new characters, and then, obviously there's still groups of people fighting against Rick, and, people and don't trust him, and, blah, blah, blah. And there's a little mutiny. A couple of people want to take out Rick, and then Rick fucking...
No, just one guy.
Well, one guy. But
one guy's pushing him.
There was a meeting, right? And badass Rick just goes... fucking Rick on him, and
Daryl's like...
But he didn't kill him.
He didn't kill him, no.
And Daryl was... Well, Daryl's like, Rick. And Rick's like, oh, yeah, okay. I'll
yeah. Rick is like... It's like he... I almost wonder if, like, the end of the show, he's just going to be the villain. I understand. They take this character so far in the show.
I don't want to see that. I'd rather him die. Before
he's awesome, but it's like
the thing is
you gotta pull back just a little.
The thing with Rick is even the character in the book. It's a constant battle for him back and forth between surviving and doing what's right. And
he deserves. I mean. Everything in the show, he's fully justified in what he does. It's never been like, oh, that's too far.
But the thing is where he's trying not to cross that line. He's trying not to be the people at Terminus. He's trying not to.
But he's like the fucking Terminator in the show now. Like him, Daryl.
Great. Now I'm gonna be when I'm watching him. And it's just him, and it's kind of quiet. I'm gonna be here. Dun dun dun.
Well, they did body counts for the top 10 the top 10 killers in the movie.
In the show?
I couldn't believe Michonne was like number 9 or something like that, but Rick was by far by far the top killer of zombies and humans.
Yeah. Well, it's like Rick, Michonne, Daryl, and
Morgan.
and then what's
Morgan.
his face?
Glenn.
Glenn. And Glenn. They're like, no spoilers for the comic book, but they're like, we're just fucking unstoppable.
Yeah.
So, I'm very curious what's going to happen this season.
Curious what issue number we're going to get to?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So the main point of this season 100. Premiere is they feel that they're like safe here, but then they find this is the herd, right?
Well, this is the thing. Is what
it's like a take on it.
What it is in the comic book there are what are called herds, and these come from densely populated areas normally where a sound happens or something draws them for so long that a huge group of these things just going in one direction.
Right. Think of a city's population walking down the road.
Yeah, because when we saw Atlanta, right? In the first season,
when he walked,
they're all kind of just
when he rode his horse around that corner and then ran
the thing
right
is,
into that herd.
The thing is they're all just kind of meandering around. There's nothing really loud that's drawing them anywhere. But if you have like a repetitive noise, like what the governor's people were doing, right? They set the traps with the noise to draw them into the little pits, and that way they could collect them. The thing is in the show when it opens up in the past, or it opens up in the present. But what happens is they're at a rock quarry, right. And what had happened was the camp or whatever that was at the quarry had blocked off the entrances to the quarry, thinking that was going to keep them safe from the walkers that were walking around. But walkers don't operate on I'm going to follow a road path. They just go wherever they please. So when you saw them watching the quarry, all of these zombies are just sliding down the rocks, down the side of the thing, because they're heading towards this, and it traps them in the basin.
What it was is the herd, whatever was there before, was generating enough noise that attracted other walkers.
What they said
made it so immense.
What they said was in this quarry there was an outbreak and a bunch of them turned, so they left them in there and blocked off the entrances
with 18-wheelers.
with these big trucks. So they couldn't get out
because walkers can't crawl.
They can't. I mean,
apparently they can't crawl underneath the 18-wheelers.
So then what happened was more walkers. They heard the noise of the walkers. They kind of came to them. They fell into the quarry, and then more. So they said, on the outskirts of town, you guys didn't see it because you guys go this way, but on this way, there's this rock quarry, and there's the 50,000 walkers just waiting to burst out, and a couple are starting to trickle through. Yeah. So they come up with this huge elaborate plan of we'll open the floodgates, we'll move them through, and
like
they'll
drive them like cattle.
Yeah, and something will happen. We don't know what their end goal was because
their end goal was to shoot them in I think it was west.
West.
It was to just shoot them west. And the thing is
but I think there's something at the end of that. I mean, they weren't just pushing them in that direction.
It was just a road.
No. They just wanted them down the highway away from them.
Yeah, because the thing is they're going to keep going in the direction that they're pointed unless something distracts them.
Yeah.
So they were trying to take this ginormous herd, and that's why it was taking them so long, because Daryl and Abraham and I forgot her name, Sasha. They're driving along, keeping their attention, and it has to be so that all of them kind of follow. And so the tail end, once that tail end is starting to head in that direction, They like they said, drive 20 more miles out.
Yeah, they wanted. Daryl and Sasha and Abraham were supposed to.
I thought they were going
20 miles away, westward away from the compound.
I thought they were going to some place that was 20 miles away. I thought they were going to throw them off the side of a cliff or something.
No, this is just shoot them
that way.
Draw them 20 miles.
This is a terrible plan, then. I thought they were going to be like, all right, here comes the Buzzsaw factory or something.
I'm sitting there thinking, going, man, if they pull this off and the herd goes towards somebody and they figure out it was directed at them, they're going to get, those people are going to come after them.
If there's anybody left.
Yeah, this is true.
Well, a number of the herd goes in one direction, but then something happens at Alexandria, and there is a very loud noise, a constant loud noise.
Which then draws...
So the back half of the herd.
So the entire herd starts heading through the woods.
It doesn't seem like the entire herd.
No, it was.
No, it was. That if you looked at the last zoom out, was almost looked like everything from the roads was starting to go through the woods.
The ones in the front were still going that direction, and then you start to see it break. And then by the time you get to the back half, they're all going that direction. Yeah. So the vast majority of them are heading towards town.
They had stopped the ones at the tire place with the... security gate down.
Yeah,
they had stopped those from making all the noise. But this is what's great about the show is I have to give props to the sound guys on this show, because when they're in the car, when Abraham's in the car and those ones start to break off and he's like, oh, I'll take care of it, and he opens the door, just the noise
so loud
of walkers and zombies, that the sounds that they're making, right? It's like if you've ever been to the Midwest or live in the Midwest, every so often you get cicadas, right? There's these giant bugs that just like make that noise, and it's like that, but like times 10.
Yeah.
But the sound design guys did an amazing job with that.
So in the next episode, I did watch the next on, but it cut off, I think, at the very end. So I don't know if they showed anything else. But I thought it was interesting because they show all these people doing something. They're fighting someone. You're supposed to think it's walkers,
Was there something at the tail end after
but
the credits?
they never. Well, it's just the next on.
Just
they never
the
actually.
trailer for the next one.
Again, unless they show something in the very last second, because mine cut off right at the thing
No,
as
they
the
didn't.
next one was finishing. You don't actually see who they're fighting, so I don't think they're fighting walkers. I think they're fighting someone.
Well,
So it could be the wolves.
we still have to deal with the wolves,
right.
You know, we still have Negan's crew is supposed
Yeah,
to be.
yeah.
Coming
I think
into
he's
it.
supposed to be involved in this season at some point.
Okay.
But then so this could be the introduction of Negan. So I
Yeah.
have no idea. Yeah.
I heard they've cast Negan.
Did they? Yeah, I heard something about that. I generally don't worry too much until I actually see until the
Yeah.
episodes
Yeah.
come out. I don't know who any of these people are. So
No, I think it was a great start to Walking Dead season 6. Again, the black and white, flashbacks. The first one was like, is this for flashbacks? And then once they did the second one, you were like, oh, okay. Because I think the first one was her waking up.
I missed like the first couple minutes or first 10 minutes of the new episode at first. And I walked in, and when I turned it on, it was immediately black and white.
Oh, so
And
you
I
thought
immediately
they-
thought something was wrong with my TV. and then it went, I was like, oh, thank God.
Well, this is the funny
But
thing,
then
though.
when it looped around, finally I could watch it again. Then I understood
Yeah.
what was going on.
But this is the thing, though. Walking Dead in black and white on TV
totally works.
It totally works because the
Yeah.
comic is black and white, and you get it comes across so much like you get so much more
Well,
a
when
little
we
bit
did
out
the
of the black
100
and white.
party, we watched season 1
In
We
black
watched
and
in
white,
black
yeah.
and white. It was fantastic. Yeah, it reminds me of Night of the Living Dead. It was great. It was great nostalgia.
And then that one guy just right in the back of the head after he's screaming like a little bitch because he got bit in the cheek and it's squirting everywhere.
Face ripped off.
I was curious. Anybody else think that Rick looked like Marv in the black?
Yeah,
and white?
a little bit.
Oh, from
yeah,
Sin
with all the
City?
little tape on him.
Yeah, yeah, I could totally see that. That's funny. I didn't think about that, but I could totally see that.
That is great. When you shh.
Shh, you need to be quiet. You need to be quiet. Shh.
So, moving on to some superheroics. Flash and Arrow had their season premieres. Let's talk about Flash first.
Because that was
I
Tuesday.
missed it. I gotta watch it.
Do you know? Well,
I don't care. Spoil it.
the only real big spoiler is Jay Garrick shows up at the very end, but you knew who's in the season.
Good. I can
So,
watch next episode. 'Cause I want to see Jay Garrick in the next episode.
Flash premiere, not as strong, I think, as the Green Arrow. Oh, sorry, Green Arrow premiere. I should start calling it.
Spoil it.
Yeah, I thought Flash was okay, but I didn't think it was necessarily like the strongest opener.
I think the difficult part about the season 2 episode 1 was the last season dropped us at such a moment of shit.
They did so well in the first season. Well, your expectations are so high.
Just the finale.
Just the finale where he's running up
Yeah.
the warm, running up to and start running, and you're like, oh, and then they kill it, and you're like, damn it, I have to wait until next season. And then this first season opens, and you're not even. We don't even open with that.
Yeah.
It's a flash. It's told in flashbacks throughout the episode, which I kind of felt took away.
It should have just run straight.
Yeah, it should just run straight.
No pun intended.
Run
Just-
straight from that. Gone into it. We see what happens with. Are we doing spoilers?
Yeah.
We see what happens with Ronnie.
So I guess the other big part of the episode, and this explains a lot of stuff for Legends of Tomorrow and other stuff, is that Ronnie, as Firestorm, sacrifices himself to close the wormhole. He goes up there and does his supernova, his Firestorm
separate.
Nova burst, and that separates them. And Martin Stein survives, but Ronnie
Is
is
gone. We don't know if he's dead. We don't know if
thrown
he's in a
into the
different
black
dimension
hole, evaporated. We don't know. I mean, so this explains why not
two.
only. Well, exactly. I'm pretty sure the actor is on another show now. I think he got cast in like a new show, which explains why he probably can't be a recurring guest star anymore. So, but I know we're getting. I believe the guy is it the same actor that played Jason Rush is taking over this season, and then he's going to be with Stein in Legends of Tomorrow. Because I know they said the Firestorm's still going to be around. It's just going to be another half.
Yeah.
And they had Jason Rush in last season for an episode or two. So I assume they're going to use the same actor, but I don't know off the top of my head.
But yeah, so Ronnie's gone, and the episode opens with 6 months later, right after we've had a dream sequence of berries where everything is hunky dory and all happy, and I think that really kind of hindered its kind of impact.
Oh, you're like, oh, what's going on here? But okay.
But I mean, they go into explaining it. You know, you get the Atom Smasher. Is the villain in this episode.
Well, yes, a version of Atom Smasher. Yeah. So Al Rothstein, who's from the comic books, Atom Smasher, a man named Al Rothstein that looks exactly like the other one that's the Atom Smasher is killed, and he's killed by his Earth 2 duplicate. We don't know, right? I mean, we don't know what the deal with this is. So,
but we find out who he was working for before he dies.
Yeah, he's
and
working with Zoom. So very well could be Earth 2, Reverse Flash, especially with the end of the episode with Jay Garrick coming in like, your whole world's in danger. He's like, I know exactly who you are. You're the Flash. The whole world's in danger. Yeah. I'm also the Flash. So
that's great.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I don't want to... Again, this is a little bit like the Doctor Strange review. I don't want to...
Hype it up too much.
I hyped it up so much in my head that I was like, oh, this isn't an 11 out of 10. It's only a 9 out of 10. Like, so I was like, oh, this isn't like, this is blow my mind.
I'm happy because I'm finally going to get my Jay Garrick helmet.
Oh yeah.
Well, and the thing is
metal version.
And the thing is we also what's his name? Why can't I remember Reverse Flash's?
Zoom.
No. Wells.
Wells.
Harrison.
I was going to say we missed that part.
Harrison Wells confesses to killing Barry's mom.
Yeah, this is the other big part of
it. So his dad gets released from jail, and his dad kind of...
He's peace out.
He's all, I gotta leave. And you kind of understand why he has to leave, right? He hasn't been a part of his son's life like he sees everybody else as a part, and he's been in jail so long that it's kind of like he doesn't...
Institutionalized.
Yeah, he's kind of...
He's gonna find his own way.
Yeah.
In his own suit.
I had no problem with this. It felt a little bit like they had to. Well, we have to address the fact that he died. We're going to get him out of jail, but then we can't have him on every episode. We can't have him living with him, so he has to leave. Yeah. Again, I understand. I was fine with it. It didn't bother me. I know some people thought it was kind of dumb, but I totally get why he would leave.
The first episode was kind of a downer episode.
Oh yeah,
you know. So it was it doesn't necessarily set the best tone for this season.
But I feel like by the end, kind of the Scooby Gang's back together. They're back at Star Labs.
He'll get back up to speed.
Well, I like how they comment multiple times about people just walk in here like we need better security. Yeah. So, and then like they're like, finally we fixed the security, and then Jay Garrick just walks right in.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. So no, good opener. Like I said, I didn't.
All right, if anybody's going to walk in, it's going to be Jay Garrick. He's going to vibrate through walls. So
yeah, exactly.
I thought the boot was pretty cool.
That was
until it didn't work.
I liked it.
Are we going to get a Flash Day like a Batman Day now?
Oh, we should. So we also had the season 4 premiere of Arrow, and
Arrow or Green Arrow now.
Well, it's Arrow. It's still called Arrow.
Okay.
And while I was not thrilled with season 3, like I was Flash season 1,
and season 2.
No, season 2 was amazing. Yeah. But I mean, last season I wasn't
the third
strongest.
Season suffered because of how impactful Flash was.
I don't know. I assume
because the thing is if you look at what happened in Arrow season 3, there's stuff that was established in season 1 and 2 is more developed, but it's a little bit more drawn out in how it's developed in season 3. But Flash is moving so super fucking fast that you're like,
Arrows now has to keep up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm fearful for the Supergirl, for Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, they've set the bar. It's Avengers all over again. They set the bar so damn high that they're never going to, it's really going to be difficult. Not kind of never, but it's going to be really difficult for them to keep on hitting that mark.
Yeah.
But here's where I think Arrow hit that mark again, no pun intended, but...
full of puns.
Welcome to the Puncast.
I thought the opener of Arrow was very strong.
Yeah.
I really liked this episode, again, because maybe my expectations off last season were a little lower, and there was great stuff last season in Arrow. Don't get me wrong. There were parts I didn't like. There were really good parts, though. And this, I feel, started with a lot of, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it really... Yeah. There's a lot of crazy stuff in this episode. Damien Dark,
Yes.
who's a fairly more recent kind of really nothing villain. Like he's only been in a handful of comics. He was in that shitty Devin Grayson
Means they can do
Titans.
anything with them.
That Titans arc, right. But he's cool. Brock, I know you were like, oh, he's magical. Constantine.
Well, the thing is so they set him up in the episode, and he kind of just waltzes into the meeting and says, "I'm going to kill all of you," and then walks out of the meeting, right? And then proceeds to.
I like that. Well, you're kind of wondering why isn't
What?
anyone stopping him?
Exactly.
But at the end of the episode, you find out
and
why.
then the thing is throughout the episode, you see that he's starting to use mystical stuff, and Arrow mentions stuff about I've seen things, and then at the end of the episode, Damien Dark's standing in front of like this altar thing, and he's cut his wrist, and he's bleeding out into the thing and chanting something, and like all this glowing script starts going on his arms, and then one of his minions comes in and says, "Oh, you have somebody here to see you." But like the entire time, all that stuff's going on, I'm like, Constantine, because it's like it's the perfect setup to bring Constantine into the CW universe and the good Constantine.
Well, I like.
I was going to say the Arrow Supernatural crossover, but okay.
Yeah.
You have a classic, classic Joss Whedon moment where Ollie's all ready to propose to Felicity. They're living their life in the middle of nowhere, living in suburbia, and then the shit hits the fan. Right? They're going to go back and stop.
The ghosts.
Yeah, these guys that are just killing people left and right that no one could stop.
Well,
Police can't stop.
They're hitting money, and then they're getting weapons from Cord Industries.
Yeah.
Which I was like,
Nice.
Blue Beetle.
Here's your blue and gold.
Hopefully,
not if that movie happens. So, and then you find out that she's been still being
helping,
Felicity
yeah.
the entire time and helping Red Arrow now. Speedy, also known as Red Arrow.
Yeah.
I like that. I like her costume. She's pretty cool. Black Canary. And I didn't hate Diggle's helmet
Magneto helmet.
in motion.
He got it off of eBay.
It looks dumb in the still photos, but I actually don't
In motion,
mind
it's not bad, but you get a glimpse, and every so often it looks like just like a
You really think he's going to be Guardian?
I totally think it's Guardian's helmet. It's the exact same cut.
He's not.
Yeah, it is. It's like
it's
the
similar.
T cut. It's very similar.
It's because it's black.
It's not
It's
colored.
because it's dark.
Guardian's
Guardian has a T in the similar fashion as his, but Guardian doesn't have that clear visor across the face.
I think it's very similar. He doesn't have like the colorful mask.
No, not
Guardian's
yet.
what
Not
golden,
yet,
golden
but
blue. I
golden
think.
blue.
It's a light blue, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but Guardian had like a half helmet that ended at his nose with two eye slits, and that was Guardian's helmet.
There's-
Unless they changed it.
There's
I mean,
a couple.
yeah,
There's
so-
a couple different costumes.
So you think he's Guardian? Okay, I can go with that.
I mean, who knows? But
well,
Diggle's his own character now, so he can
He can be whatever.
he can't be Mr. Yeah, he can't be Mr. Terrific.
yeah, he can
so,
be whatever he
yeah.
wants. So
He has the T on the face.
well, the helmet does kind of have. It does
It
kind of
does
look
have
like
the
that,
T,
so-
right?
But again, yeah, he could be anything.
Is
so
Diggle that smart?
which is fine. Yeah, Diggle's smart.
He's
so,
Diggle.
but I think he's fine. I actually, again, in motion, it didn't bother me at all. So,
That's fine.
but then the big shocker ending is Laurel's dad has been working with
Damien Dark.
in some fashion. He wants out now, but clearly,
Well, that's not the big thing. Well, it's not the big foreshadowing at the end.
well. Then there is the what was it, like 6 months later.
Yeah, 6 months
scene.
later, scene where Ollie's standing in front of a grave, and you don't actually see whose grave it is. And Barry speeds up, says, "Sorry, I'm late for the funeral." Yeah, but we don't see who died.
But there's also something else. You guys forget the honorable mention of Jordan.
We were getting there.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's wearing a Green Lantern shirt today.
Oh well.
I'm sure that's not the reason, but
wait, you got to wait for his response to the Hal Jordan drop.
okay, go ahead.
Well, so at least plot wise,
blew it, sorry.
At least plot wise in the episode, we have. We also forgot that the city is now called Star City because they're trying to get tourism up, and Starling City is a hellhole.
Yeah.
And they did it in honor of.
I think that they shoot in Vancouver, right?
I don't know where they're.
They might just go over to Detroit to shoot some of those derelict scenes.
I mean, they're doing it in honor of Ray Palmer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Who's trying to get it renamed Star City. So that is that. And then, Arrow is dead. So who's this new guy? quote-unquote new guy. Oh, he's Green Arrow. So, hooray! We have Star City, we have Green Arrow. So, all is well.
And Amanda Waller's still fucking a bitch on in heels.
So we get some more flashbacks with him in Starling City as Arrow.
No, he's not. That's not in Starling City.
Isn't it?
No.
Oh, no, he's in
It's
Coast City.
Because
Right.
he's like, I don't want to be in the city
Sorry.
I'm in, and that's why they end up at
He's
the
in,
bar.
He's in. Correct. I'm sorry, but this is like pre him going back
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
He's in Coast City practicing as Arrow, and in the biggest cock tease of all,
right in your face because it opens right on the name.
Of
It cuts
all
to right
time.
on the name.
the scene opens in a bar, and there's a guy that you can only see the chest of. You can't
Wearing
see
a
the
bomber
face.
jacket.
Wearing a bomber jacket, a fighter pilot bomber jacket that just says Jordan.
And it's in green.
And it's in green. They're in Coast City. I'm like, you sons of bitches. Don't do this to me. Introduce Hal Jordan or don't. Don't tease me like this.
They haven't secured the actor yet. So.
God, why? It's so frustrating.
Could have been worse. Could have been Ryan Reynolds wearing it. So
That'd be fantastic. I'd be totally fine with that. Just something.
that would be great. That would be fantastic. That would really, really.
It would be.
That would be really good.
It'd
I would
be
love
great.
it. That would show that DC had a sense of humor. I mean,
Well,
you know.
okay, but what
really good.
what I really like though about the flashbacks in this episode, at least, we don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Like, it's we drugged you. We're dropping you out of the plane. The episode's ending, so that's all we're going to tell you of what happens to him. But he's heading back to the island. You're like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Well, I'm
going
assuming
on?
we're getting to the point now where he is going to get off the island, and this is
Yeah.
him coming back.
Yeah.
That has to be this season.
Because
He was gone for 5 years, and every year has been a season. And this is the.
so this would be this would be his last year.
I think this would be either this or next year would be his last year. So I would assume.
unless that's just where Amanda Waller picks him up, drugs him, and drops him off.
Yeah. So, again, Green Arrow or Arrow had some rougher episodes last season, but I'm very, very confident for this season. Very
who's
good
in
opener.
the grave?
And-
Who's in the
it has
grave,
to be
Ryan?
Felicity.
Well, the thing is
has to
the
be.
way they foreshadowed it, right? You get the shot of the ring and the pebbles, and then it cuts to 6 months later, and we're at the gravesite, and he's crying and stuff like that. And I think it's a forced. I think it's either going to be the forced. It's Felicity, but we're gonna lead up to it. You're going to go, oh no, it's nobody, and then twist it and say, yeah, it was Felicity, or it's somebody else that dies in this that we haven't seen yet, or we're not going to experience yet. And that, like, it's either going to be like we're forcing it to twist it to basically say it was.
They can't kill anybody. They're just building up their cast.
Yeah, I mean,
Flash has a bigger rogue galleries right now than
Although they
anybody.
could get away with it right now, I think, if they want to pretend, if they're there for, because they never talked about what happened to Ray Palmer.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well-
They haven't talked about Ray Palmer, and when Barry comes to visit the grave with him, he says, "Sorry, I'm late," and he's all stuffed with Zoom.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh shit!"
Well, they did address. I mean, he's dead. He's not dead. He's in Legend of
not
the
dead.
Tomorrow. They've already shown that he survived because
Yeah.
he shrunk.
Yeah.
So,
Right. But I mean, they could use this as before that.
they could.
They could be looking at his grave because they don't know what's happened to him yet.
It's
right?
possible.
The last we saw, the building exploded.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible.
Well,
It's
and
possible.
also, I mean, there's
but why would his funeral be 6 months later? And it's
well,
already
that's the
been
thing
like
is,
6
it's like,
months,
I
right?
mean,
So-
it could be Felicity, it could be Speedy, it could be
those are the two more likely.
it could
or,
be
or the dad.
It could be the dad, or
Yep.
or it could even be Sarah again, despite
No.
I'm just saying, or it could have something to do with his son or his kid.
I don't know if they're ever going to bring. I
Could it
think
be Connor's mom?
I think
Yeah.
they're going to ditch that. I can't imagine they're going to bring that back
no.
up.
They have been doing a really good job with. They did a really good job in season 1 and 2 with kind of just subtly like sowing the seeds in there. And I think this season, because they didn't really do anything with it last season, I
No,
think this
they
season you
completely
may
ignored
see
that.
something else. No, because the whole domestic life and the family, dropping the family stuff at the beginning of this episode with Felicity, and if it is Felicity that's dead, and then Connor comes into it afterwards, they could go in that direction, and I think
I don't want a fucking kid on this show.
but it's a CW.
No, then it'd be teenagers fucking. It wouldn't be a kid. I don't want a kid on this show.
Because Wally West has to have his partner.
He's Speedy. That would be his partner. If they want Wally West and Speedy to cross
Connor
over, that'd be
Hawk,
fine.
man. They're just.
I mean, I love Connor Hawk.
They're going
but
to a different direction.
I love Connor Hawk, but I can't see them bringing like a 3-year-old kid into the show. Or I guess
No,
he'd be like
he's
4 years.
no,
old or
he's
something.
like this happened before he went to the island. The kid is like in his teens
no, just no,
Not even close.
because it happened before the island, though.
But Island was only 5 years.
Was it before the island?
Yeah, it was before he went on the island
Yeah, it
because
happened
the
before.
mom paid her off. It was when he was younger, so it could have been. I mean, if
we
he's-
don't know how much younger.
We don't know how much younger, but the kid is over 5 years old. He
So-
could be possibly as old as
it'd be. I mean, the island was 5 years, and then he's been off for 4 years, so 9, so 10 roughly.
so the kid could be 10 or 12, or 10 or 11.
Yeah.
You're pushing it at 10. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
I just don't remember the age. Like I can't remember exactly how goofy young they made him look.
It's okay. Though at 10, I'm sure he'll be sent off to the monastery. So there, done, out. He's out.
My best friend's name is Damien.
Yeah, I was just about to say. They sent him to Gotham Academy or something. All right, TV Conspiracy is done. This episode is done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Toby,
You
for.
didn't say anything about the new episode
being
of Gotham.
It was all right. Yeah.
He needs to rewatch the end.
Okay, that's it. That's done. Okay, all right.
No. I
Honorable mention to Gotham.
It,
All right.
it is never my intent to talk about every episode of every one of these shows every week because that would be a whole podcast.
And yet I
in and of
listen to it
itself.
when I'm on the road, so I know you do.
No. I mean, there are plenty of Arrow and Flash episodes that we skip.
I think the only reason they did all 3 of the Gotham
was the
episodes
Joker.
was because
they were-
because it was some press got all 3 episodes and they've said something about it, so he lumped episode 1, 2, and 3 together.
they're really good. I mean, this current episode was good. They introduced Silver St. Cloud.
I haven't gotten a
A
chance.
lot of penguin.
Penguin's going nuts.
Yeah, a lot of penguin in this episode. So. Good.
I'm gonna pull a Charlie here.
Okay.
Patreon.
Let me thank our good friend Albert Soy and his app, Plant Everywhere, which you can download on iTunes for free.
Is
And
it free?
It is free, and unfortunately,
Free,
and not on Android yet, but hopefully soon. Thank you, Albert. And we also have to thank our other high tier backer, Jody Lawson, at Canon, the Triad Comics anthology at triadcomicsstudios.com. Make sure you guys go and check out their webcomics and go pick up that anthology. It's very good stuff. Thank you, everyone that donates to us on Patreon, which you can find at patreon.com/comicconspiracy, where as little as $1 a month, you can help us
Host,
pay for
feed us.
hosting, give us some food, do all the great stuff that it takes to run this podcast, pick up some new mics and cables and crap from time to time.
No, that's the Geekbox's responsibility.
It's all connected. It's fine. Thank you, everyone, for being on this week. Don't forget to listen to our previous episodes at geekbox.net and on iTunes. Rate and subscribe to us. It makes it so more people can find us.
Yeah, you need to look some of those up and actually read some of them this time.
I do. It would take like 9 years to open iTunes on this shitty old laptop. So
No, that's why you just do it on yours and then just copy and paste the text.
Yeah. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. That's where you can go buy all your digital comic books. Oh, and don't forget to go on forums at geekbox.net or the Geekboxing Facebook group. Not the Geekboxing Facebook group. The Geekboxing Comic Conspiracy Facebook group, where you can talk to all of us lovely people. SpiritofBrock.com, that's Brock's video pull list and blog. Go check that out.
Been a little MIA lately. Sorry.
It's all good. You're back on the horse next week. Or this week.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Infinite Longbox Podcast and the Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension Podcast. Those are Charlie's other podcasts, not apps.
Jeez, Charlie has an Infinity Longbox app?
Should. Talks about comic books and Doctor Who. Go listen to those. I'm on Twitter. My name is Ryan Higgins Ryan. Brock is Brock Sager. Bryce, who I think is on next week, is Larson Bryce. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie is Insanity and Chaos. Jim is LD Exterminator. Lane is not on Twitter. Are you? Are you on Twitter?
I have an account, but I don't use it very often.
Oh.
Can I talk to our listeners here for a second about Twitter?
You can after I tell people to also listen to the Geekbox, the Comedy Button. The Comedy Button is the name of it. Good Job Brain and the All Talk Podcast, the other podcasts on our
Good
network.
Job Brain actually had a panel, like a theater gathering thing.
They had a live show. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Good Job Brain live.
So to our Twitter people,
Yes.
you need to contact at Ryan Higgins and harass the shit out of that guy to give Ryan Higgins
Jerk off with his little giraffe avatar.
Yeah,
Fuck that guy. No, I don't care. It's fine now.
because we need to get you you're an internet celebrity. You now need to have the official check mark from Twitter, and you need the official handle.
I think I was talking to Ryan Scott about this. When you get verified on Twitter, all you do is you pay them, and they give you a verified thing. It's like total bullshit. Like it used to be like a legit thing. Now it's just like, oh, give us money and we'll give you a verified stamp.
I think I just need an Adobe a verified stamp on my picture in the right spot.
That's all I got. We'll be back next week.
It.